Hypermiling is a collection of small skills that, if practiced over a tank full of gas, will have a big impact on the miles per gallon you get. This particular video will be about the skill, or perhaps some might call it the art, of coasting. Remember, although each method in my videos has a small effect on your gas mileage, if you repeat them frequently for a whole tank of gas, you'll find a great increase in your gas mileage. I'm currently at about 40% over my EPA. For a manual transmission, the easiest way to coast is to just put the clutch in and coast. Some might be worried about clutch wear, but if you time it properly, you may find that instead of shifting into fourth gear, you can leave it in third and just coast until the next time you have to slow down. So it's actually the same number of shifts. For an automatic transmission, just let off the gas. Oftentimes on a slight downhill, you'll find that with gas or without gas, the car will maintain the same speed. So of course it's better to do it without gas. For my car, when I'm coasting, I get about 4 times the speed in miles per gallon. So if I'm coasting at 25 miles per hour, I'll get 100 miles per gallon. 30 miles per hour, I'll get 120 miles per gallon, and so forth. Bigger cars or automatic transmissions may get a little bit less. Look for small downhills. They don't have to be very big for them to be effective. Accelerate before them on the uphill so that you can coast at a reasonable speed and not be too much of an impediment to the flow of traffic behind you. And of course, coast to red lights and stop signs. After a while, you'll get a feel for how far away from the red light or stop sign you can let off the gas and coast up and arrive at the stop sign almost at a stop. Sometimes you will have to go a little faster for people behind you, but in light to moderate traffic, most of the times you don't. Learn your route. Most of us go from home, and there's only a few roads that we can leave, and the first mile or two is repeated over and over again. So start by finding that first hill near your home that you can coast down using less gas, and then work outwards from there, so that the hills you're familiar with are the ones you go over most frequently. And memorize landmarks. This morning, coming back from the store, I was at 30 miles an hour coming up my street, and I let off the gas at the intersection before, expecting to coast into my driveway. I didn't quite make it, so next time I know I have to go maybe 30 feet or so beyond that intersection in order to coast successfully into my driveway without adding any more gas. A lot of times we're approaching the crest of the hill, and we're not at a speed that's high enough to coast down the hill without bothering people behind us. If you accelerate briskly by pushing the throttle smoothly down so you'll feel that burst of acceleration, you'll get the best mileage per gallon for the combination of the acceleration and the coasting phase, while still maintaining a pretty reasonable speed. Using the scan gauge too will really help you progress more quickly. I've been working on the part of backing out of my driveway and going downhill to a stop sign after that, and it used to be around 24-25 miles per gallon. And by working on my acceleration and coasting and other things, backing out of the driveway properly, I've been able to increase that to 40 miles per gallon. So quite an improvement. Only a quarter mile, but over the course of a tank full, it adds up. It's important to stay focused for an entire tank of gas. You can blow a tank with one bad trip. Each coast is worth just a little, but together they're worth a lot. You may not hardly even see a difference, maybe only a mile or two per gallon in a short tank of gas of only a few gallons, and combine that with turning off your engine at a red light, you may see something that's almost impossible to see. However, you'll find the cumulative effect of all the techniques is quite dramatic. Currently I'm getting 146% of my EPA, so I'm getting 47 miles per gallon on my last tank when the EPA is 26 and 33. One last thing, pick a spot close to your home where there's no traffic, that's level. Go to a speed, say 25, 35 miles per hour, whatever, and release your gas and see how far it takes you to coast to a stop. Then go fill your tires up to the maximum pressure recommended by the manufacturer and do the same thing over again. And if your tire pressure was low to begin with, you'll find that you can coast quite a bit further. This is also sucking your gas down when in normal cruise, but it's not quite so noticeable as it is when you test it on a coast. Have fun with this. Eventually it becomes addictive.